Yeah. Yeah. Can you believe they told me that I would never make it? Now we smiling in their faces, smiling in their faces. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Tyler Rose TV. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And of course, hit that bell so you can get notified when I do drop another video, because I do drop many videos every week. For today's video, we got something special for you guys. I did see Charles Barkley. If you haven't seen this clip, I'm going to run it real quick. He chimed in on LeBron in the second apron. Then, of course, here comes Richard Jefferson, holding that baby oil, running to the LeBron's rescue, just to make sure you guys know it's not LeBron's fault. This has been going on for years, man. Leave my buddy out of this now. Some real, LeBron, just jock sniffing, bro. Just nonstop, defending this man's name. Let me run it with Charles Barkley had to say, and then let's get into what Richard Jefferson had to say.
The second apron thing is...
Hey, cut the bullshit. They ain't got no dumb rules. Let me tell you something. I'm so glad you asked that question.
Is this a second apron defense?
Yes. Why did they have to come up with bullshit rules, Bill? Because all these guys want to play together and not compete. If I had $1 for every time I heard the second apron, why did Adam Silver have to put the second apron in? Because LeBron got all his guys together. KD wanted to go play with the Warriors. I hate when I hear, man, the second apron's not fair. What do you mean it's not fair? If y'all stop all wanting to play together, we wouldn't have to make up bogus-ass rules to stop y'all from playing together.
This is interesting because I completely disagree with you.
Okay.
I think they came up with it because the Players Association, I don't think, realized that putting these rules in is going to make all these teams blow up, and you're basically going to be able to afford 2 or 3 guys max. And then you're going to have to cut corners everywhere else. Like the Celtics, they had no chance of keeping Drew Holiday and Porzingis. Like OKC now, they've made all these really smart moves to put the roster they have together, and they're not going to be able to keep it together, even though they were smart. I don't like.
So there you have it. So you see Charles Barkley is blaming LeBron James for the second apron, saying, listen, all these super teams, this is the reason why the NBA had to change things up when it comes to salary. There's a reason why the NBA had to do things, and he very, very, very much may be telling the truth. However, this is how Richard Jefferson feels about the whole super team narrative as well that has been centered around LeBron, and he's feeling like, hey, it's not fair. But is it not fair? Because who was the real first super team is not the question. The question is who empowered players to continue to do this. He's the face of super teams and player empowerment. But not only that, he's the only one to do it while everybody was in the middle of their prime. 26, 27 years old, not 33, 34, 32, not I'm retiring in a few seasons, the middle of the prime. Let's roll what he has to say.
So then I remember Charles Barkley going to Houston, and then he teamed up with Akeem Olajuwon, and then Scottie Pippen was also there. So now Scottie Pippen, Clyde Drexler just retired, and then Scottie Pippen, who was only in year 11, so it wasn't older. Olajuwon and Charles Barkley were at year 14. Pippen was at year 11, so he was in his prime. That sounds like teaming up. That sounds like teaming up if I'm wrong, right? Hey, let's go to Shaq and Kobe. Does everybody remember when they recruited Gary Payton, who was still in his prime, and then they recruited Karl Malone? Do we remember that? The second all-time leading scorer to play power forward next to Shaq in his prime after they had won 3 out of the last 4 championships. So are we saying Shaq and Kobe? So when we look at teaming up, right? He did it. He joined Olajuwon. And then Scottie Pippen came in. And now we're talking about the second apron exists. Did we forget our history? His own history. And I love Charles. Charles is my icon, my idol, my big bro. There's not a person in this industry that I don't love, that I fucking.
Is that why you're bold?
Yes, I'm bold because of Charles. But Charles, let's be honest. You literally joined a team with Akeem Olajuwon because he had won 2 championships. Sounds like, wow, that sounds like maybe LeBron going and joining D-Wade. And then you brought in Scottie Pippen. Man, that sounds like Chris Bosh joining. And then you got Shaq and Kobe, who also went and then they lost in the championship because of an injury to Karl Malone, some BS, but they still made it to the finals. So Karl Malone joined with Shaq and Kobe and got Gary Payton. So these guys joined up. Why do we always make it seem like LeBron is the first person to ever join up in NBA history? The Celtics
before Braun made his move, KG, Paul, and Ray joined up.
Right? And so it's like when you look at this over the history, it's like, come on. The second apron doesn't, we're blaming everything on LeBron, right, wrong, ugly. That's fine. We're cool. That's a different story. But Charles joined the Houston Rockets with Hakeem Olajuwon, and then they went and recruited Scottie Pippen. The Lakers with Shaq and Kobe went and recruited one of the best power forwards of all time to play next to Shaq and next to Kobe, and then they went and got another all-defensive historic guard in Gary Payton. That defense with Gary Payton and Kobe Bryant at the front line, are you kidding me? They were trying to make it unfair.
You see the clear difference between Kobe and Shaq when it came to these quote-unquote super teams that Richard Jefferson is speaking about is that, guess what? They already won 3 championships. They didn't need to make a super team to win. LeBron needed to. LeBron had to team up with 2 superstars, 2 top 5 players in his conference to win. Stop the nonsense, Richard Jefferson. Stop rubbing oil all over LeBron James, bro. Yeah, it might make you get a job on ESPN, but I promise you, all you're doing is selling yourself short. You know the damn well there's a difference between that goddamn Lakers team and the goddamn Miami Heat in 2010. Come on, bro. Stop the nonsense, bro. We were there. Did you know that I can see you? When that Cat Williams. Like, did you not know we can see what happened? A 41-year-old Karl Malone and a freaking 36-year-old Gary Payton who retired in 3 years, and then Karl Malone who retired the next year? You're going to compare those dudes and say that's the same as playing with Dwayne Wade, who just finished second in MVP voting, and Chris Bosh, who was an all-NBA second-team player who averaged 25 and 10? Yeah, we're going to compare those two, right, Richard Jefferson? Get the hell up out of here, man. Gary Payton was drafted in 1990. He was 36 years old while he played with the Lakers. He didn't make an all-star team that year neither. So both of them were all-stars. When LeBron played with when LeBron played with Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving, they were both all-stars. When LeBron played with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, they were both all-stars. Every time he plays with these stars, he gets them in the middle of their prime. Anthony Davis, an all-star, middle of the prime, all-NBA. Luka Doncic, all-star, superstar, top 2 NBA player and 3 NBA player, 4 NBA player, wherever you want to rank him in the NBA. But guess what? An all-star and in the smack dab in the middle of the prime. Not a 41-year-old who's retiring. Not old Charles Barkley who's retiring. Not Clyde Drexler who retired in 97. Not Olajuwon who retired in 2002. Not Charles Barkley who retired in 2000. The guys LeBron plays with end up playing another 10 plus years in the NBA because he gets them in the middle of the prime. So yeah, you want to compare the teams, do me a favor. Do a little bit more research into what you're actually saying. Because when it comes to even the Boston Celtics, those guys are 32, 33 years old, man. They were still in their prime, but they were on the tail end of their prime. And I would say that was more so how the Rockets were. They were tail end of their prime. Nobody at that time, from what I know, when I ask about some of the people who I know who remember that era, nobody at that time was thinking that they were really gonna to beat the Bulls or to be the best team in the NBA. When LeBron went to play with Chris Bosh and D Wade in Miami, they were favored to win the NBA Finals, and they lost to Dallas. That Rockets team, you can't tell me that Rockets team was favored and to the odds to win the championship. No, that was not happening. The NBA shift when those 3 guys teamed up. That was 26, 27-year-old guys, not 32, 33, 34-year-old guys. And then you look back at that time in the NBA when it came to players playing in that era. Charles Barkley played 16 seasons. That's short. You got guys playing 22, 23 seasons now. And the last couple years of his career, he was pretty much a shell of himself from injuries and not being the same player. So really, he only has like 12, 13 years of prime basketball. So these players, their life expectancy in the NBA wasn't long because of the rules, because of they played back-to-backs, the travel. They didn't skip games. They didn't load manage. They didn't have time to sit there and pick which days they want to actually attempt to play. They played every day, and they played every game because that's what it warranted them to make their money. And that's what they grew up on playing. I mean, playing basketball in these times, man, you play when you're hurt. There's a guy who had a freaking cast on his neck, still showed up to play because it was a different type of competitive nature. It was a different type of pride these players had when they were on the court. So when you compare those 2 teams as to say Kobe needed somebody or Shaq needed somebody or this and that, like, please stop it. Please stop it, Richard Jefferson. We know what you're doing. You want to protect your buddy LeBron. You know what I'm saying? We understand you have some type of, relationship with this guy, and you want to make him look like he's such a great guy or a great player or whatever the case, whatever you're trying to accomplish, it's not working. The problem with the reason why it's not working is because we were able to watch these things happen in real time. So if you're new to the channel, let me know your thoughts about this. Tired of the disrespect, especially when it comes to talking about things of the past, man. Let's not act like LeBron is not the face of super teams. We know what was going on. But like I said, if you're new to the channel, my name is Tyler. This is Tyler Rose TV. I'm going to see you guys on the next one. Please let me know what you guys think down below. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.